Welcome to the new video, old crypto coin in the fascinating world of numismatics. Some coins hold far more than just monetary value, and among them the 1984 Elizabeth II $1 coin from Australia stands as an intriguing piece that captures the attention of collectors around the globe, not simply because of its face value, but because of its history, rarity, and the stories tied to it. To understand why this coin has become so desirable, we need to step back to 1984. A year that marked an important turning point in Australian currency. It was a year when the country introduced a $1 coin, officially replacing the paper banknote of the same denomination. The decision was driven by practicality, as coins last far longer than notes, and the Royal Australian Mint designed a coin that would not only be functional, but also hold cultural and symbolic significance. The obverse of this coin bears a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the acclaimed artist Raphael Maklauf, whose effigy was introduced during the 1980s and became a staple across many Commonwealth nations. This portrait depicts a queen wearing the royal diadem, presented with a graceful and dignified profile that reflected both continuity and modernization. On the reverse, we see Stuart Devlin's celebrated design of 5 bounding kangaroos, a choice that emphasized Australia's national identity and wildlife, making the coin immediately recognizable and uniquely Australian. While millions of these coins were struck for circulation, what sets certain 1984 pieces apart and drives their value into the realm of the most expensive collectibles is a combination of rarity, condition, minting variations, and errors. Collectors are particularly drawn to proof versions, which were specially struck with polished dies and blank planchets to create sharp, mirror-like finishes intended for collectors rather than general use. These proof coins were released in limited numbers, making them scarce in today's market, especially if they remain in pristine, untouched condition with original packaging. Some 1984 proofs and high-grade uncirculated coins certified by professional grading services, such as PGDS or NGC, can command remarkable sums at auctions, with prices soaring depending on their grade, eye appeal, and demand at the time of sale. Beyond proof issues, certain error coins from 1984 have become legendary among collectors. Minting mistakes such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or planchet flaws can transform an otherwise common coin into a rare treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And in the case of 1984 Australian dollar, error coins are especially prized because they represent anomalies from the very first year of production. There are reports of coins with slightly misaligned dies, weak strikes, and unusual planchet imperfections that make them standout pieces in specialized collections. What elevates the 1984 Australian $1 coin into the realm of the most expensive Elizabeth II coins is not only these technical factors, but also the emotional and historical attachment collectors feel toward first-of-its-kind issues. The inaugural release of a coin often becomes symbolic, representing the start of a new era, and in Australia, the switch from the paper dollar to a coin was a major national transition. Owning a 1984 Elizabeth II dollar is like owning a piece of that change, a tangible artifact of Australia's evolving economy and culture. Over the years, auctions and private sales have revealed how much collectors are willing to pay for these coins when they are presented in superb condition. Some examples have reached figures well into the thousands of dollars, especially when accompanied by official mint packaging, certification, and impeccable provenance. This phenomenon illustrates the powerful role that rarity, demand, and collector psychology play in determining value, because while millions of $1,984 circulate at face value, only a handful meet the criteria that make them elite and thus highly expensive. Another important dimension is the international market for Queen Elizabeth II coinage. Given her long reign and global recognition, coins featuring her portrait are collected not only within Australia, but also across the Commonwealth and beyond. This global demand amplifies the appeal of the $1,984, especially when marketed in top-grade condition or with fascinating minting errors. For many collectors, the coin's allure lies not simply in its physical characteristics, but in its story. The first year of issue, the iconic kangaroo design, and the Queen's effigy that connects it to a broader narrative of monarchy and national identity. As with most collectible coins, the future value of the 1984 Australian $1 will continue to be influenced by supply and demand dynamics. With time, the number of surviving high-grade examples will inevitably shrink due to circulation wear, mishandling, or loss, making the remaining premium specimens even scarcer and more desirable. This natural attrition ensures that the best examples will likely appreciate in value, maintaining the coin status among the most expensive Elizabeth II issues. In summary, the 1984 Elizabeth II Australian $1 coin is far more than a piece of change. It is a landmark in the nation's monetary history, a canvas of artistic design, and a highly coveted collectible in numismatic circles. Its value is shaped by rarity, condition, minting anomalies, proof releases, and the historical weight of being the very first of its kind. For collectors, owning this coin is not merely about holding a piece of metal, but about preserving a story, a legacy, and a tangible connection to the evolution of Australian currency. Whether displayed in a collection, locked away as an investment, or admired for its cultural significance, the 1984 Elizabeth II $1 coin will remain one of the shining stars of numismatics, standing proudly as one of the most expensive coins bearing the Queen's portrait from Australia.